Hey everyone, just wanted to give a quick shout out to all the sponsors that help me out a ton on this channel. I'd really appreciate it if you check their links out in the description. Thanks for listening. Hello YouTube, this is Mark bringing another video, and today we're going to be talking about the GameSir GM300 gaming mouse. And that's right. Right off the bat, you can see here I just have the box, nothing else with it, and right off the bat you can see it looks similar to how Logitech G designs their boxes, with the side areas detached as well. The color scheme very similar once again, and it is the GM300 wireless gaming mouse. So we all know how wired gaming mouse perform, but how does wireless perform? This is obviously the GameSir logo embedded in there, and it looks pretty premium, high quality. Some things I like to point out are the PMW3389. It is a 16,000 DPI sensor, and it is pretty good. It's rated on a lot of Razer mice as well, so we're gonna see that consistency there. And then the two nice things I like seeing are the 1 millisecond report rate, as well as the wireless and wired dual connection. So you can play this in wireless mode as well. So if it does perform up to what it says it is, this might be one of the a very good mouse for its price point, as well as a lot of other stuff. You know, you can program the keys. There's an anti-slip skin coating, as well as nice mechanical switches for when you actually click the buttons. And then there's a custom magnetic side plate, obviously, like I said. And then it's pretty ergonomic, so you can use it for left-handed if you're left-handed, and right-handed if you're right-handed. So we're gonna open it up and see what's inside, and I'll show you guys that in a second. Alrighty, so after opening up the entire box, this is what it comes with. There's obviously the manual on how to use it with a 12-month warranty, which is really good for that as well, so you can look through this to see what you want. There's a little nice thank you note for actually purchasing the GameSir mouse, and then there's these two little side pieces that you can swap out with these, I'm pretty sure. And then here's a hefty little USB-C. I'm glad they started using USB-C because that is more streamlined now, but there is a fat resistor right here, so I'm not a huge fan of that. But it is braided, so it is more durable than other ones, and so you could be using this for not just this mouse. And then lastly, the mouse obviously comes into a plastic casing, not even attached right there, but it comes like this. First impressions of the mouse holding it, it is a little bit small, and I have small hands too, so if you guys have big hands, I might not recommend getting this because this is a pretty small mouse, even for me as a person with small hands. I'm not a huge fan of these little side blades, so I'm going to be removing them, and then I'm going to be seeing how it performs, and I'll show you guys some gameplay, I guess, with how I think. The scroll wheel is pretty smooth, so I don't know how I like that. There's some tactile feedback, but it's really easy to go over a lot. The switches, you can hear it. That's what it sounds like. And then the sides, obviously you can also hear that. The keys on both sides. So that is what this mouse sounds like. And then this is, I don't think you can hear this, but it's really smooth. So the bumps are very smooth. It might make it hard for like scrolling through things, but it's just how the mouse is designed. And there's 5 different DPI level switches. I'm pretty sure it says in the manual right here on the second page that it goes all the way from 400, 800, 1600, 3200, and 16,000. So I don't know why you'd switch from 3200 to 16,000, but I would stick on 800 because that's what I like. So I'd be using that one. So I'll let you guys know how I think of it and what's good about it, and what can be improved. So I'll be right back. One thing to note before I actually did test this out, I haven't tested this out yet, but I did remove the plates. As you can see, this is more like a normal mouse now. But to get the actual wireless, you actually have to go here, and you can see that pops out in the back. So I don't know if it will focus or not, but you can see how it pops out like there. And you have to pull this out. So it requires 2 hands to get the USB dongle out. Not the most intuitive because it's magnetic, but here's the USB dongle. I don't think there's any markings or anything, so good luck trying to figure out what this is when you do plug it in. So unfortunately I didn't put any branding on this, which is kind of sad because there's a lot of dongles that could be like this. It could be for a headset or for Bluetooth or something like that, but that's just where the dongle is, and then this just slides right back in because it's magnetic, so that's a decent feature. But it is pretty heavy as a mouse, as far as the mouse goes. I do realize that it has to have a good battery life, so we'll see how much the battery life is and if it shows us the battery life when we get in there. But yeah, we'll test it out, see how good the sensor is, and I'll be right back. Here's a little bit of an insight into what the actual GameSir software looks like. So the GameSir software here, you download from their website. It runs pretty quickly. The basic settings, you can configure the acceleration if you want some acceleration on your mouse. I prefer none, so I put it to 0. You can configure the DPI, and actually you can, I think, swipe it anywhere in between. So yeah, that's pretty nice that you can change that. Only by increments of 100 though, so I like to keep mine on 800, so I just apply that there. You can add many different configurations. I'm not sure how many you can add, but I mean, I only use profile 1, configuration 1, so there's lots of profiles and configurations you can choose from. Obviously the polling rate you can pick, and then I didn't change the pointer speed at all. So I think normally it's in Windows there's something there, but I didn't change that. There's a key setting, so obviously you can see here if you want to change what actually they do. So that's pretty interesting into what, you know, you can have each key do. I prefer you know, just the default. It's pretty good, and then you can have a right or left-handed, so that's pretty nice. There's the light settings that obviously you can pick here. For me, I usually just do, you know, trading off this glow kind of thing because I like how it changes color, but I do think that will probably negatively affect the battery life, and I actually don't know how long this battery life is for. It doesn't say within this either. It will only say on the mouse itself, which is something that they might need to look forward to see if they can fix that in the future. Maybe add that as an option, because I don't know when my mouse is actually going to be dying or not. I know like a light will shine on the mouse, but that's not really as useful as possible. And then the macro settings you can see here, if you want to change something on the macro. I'm not even sure what that even means, not gonna lie, but yeah, I guess if you want one of your keys to do something different, you can do that. As far as the mouse itself goes, it is pretty good at tracking. I'll put some gameplay up here in a little bit onto what I think about it. It's just really heavy in my opinion. So like I said, it might not be the best for like FPS games, but as a nice wireless mouse for only $50, it does do a very good job of making sure that you have the ability to be free of wires, as well as have a nice like RGB if you want to. And it does have a very similar vibe to the Logitech mice. So that's what I've seen so far. Similar design, similar color scheme, similar just, you know, RGB design as well with only the logo. That's getting more common with all mice, but that's just what I have to say about this software a little bit. It's a little bit lacking for $50. I feel like you should be at least able to see the battery percentage of the mouse. So that's kind of disappointing that you can't see that, but overall it's pretty self-explanatory, this software. It's not like it's gonna confuse a lot of people because there's not that many sections here, but yeah, that's the software for you. Here's some gameplay of me playing CSGO with the GM300 mouse. I just wanted to put this in there just to show you that there is very little, you know, drag, lag, or stutters with this mouse. I couldn't get actual, you know, video of me playing with the mouse because I just don't have that set up currently. But it is really good for playing CSGO, and it just allows you to show this video, allows you to show you. I can't speak that. It's a good mouse for, you know, flicking, for doing anything. It's just a little bit heavy at times. So here are the two mice that I use side by side. This is the GameSir GM300 and this is the Logitech G Pro Wireless. I love this mouse, the G Pro Wireless, and you can see here even the logos are very similar. Obviously when it stops moving, it'll turn off the light, but you can see normally the RGB is very, very similar on both of these. The logo is similar. Design also pretty similar. You can see here with the scroll wheel, obviously the RGB on the game GM300, but the thing that beats it for me is the lightness of this mouse. This mouse is only 80 grams, while this one is at least 110 grams, and that makes a big difference when you're playing a game. I know you might think, oh, 30 grams, how big of a difference can it make? When you're swiping mice like this left and right all the time, there's a big difference that can make a little bit of a struggle on your arm. So this mouse is very heavy. The performance on this mouse is fantastic. It has no skips or lags or anything like that. It does not jump, anything like that, even when you flick. This mouse performs very well, and the battery life is decent as well. It doesn't advertise it, but it hasn't really done much, to signal that it is low on battery or anything like that. So I'm not sure completely about the battery life on this. The performance is good. I'm assuming you're going to get better battery life, obviously, without the lights on, so you can turn that off in the settings as well. But I think this mouse is a steal for $50. The Logitech G Pro Wireless is MSRP, I think, $150. So you're getting basically a very similar mouse, except for this one is a little heavier. or not a little bit, it's quite a bit heavier actually, but you can save about $100 on the mouse by getting the GM300. This mouse definitely tops the performance on the GM300, but for the price level, you cannot really beat the GM300. It is heavy, but the performance is stellar. I would recommend it. For $50. You're gonna get, you're not gonna get better wireless mice than this for $50. So I would recommend you go check out the GM300. Obviously, it is a little heavy, and that's the main downside I have to it. It looks very nice. It feels nice. And it is easy to use. The software is easy to use as well, but it's a little bit basic software. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. I hope you check out the GM300 wireless gaming mouse. It is a good mouse overall for its price point, so check it out. Links in the description. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.